Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Marvel Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the Marvel Universe.
Hello, fellow Marvel fans, and welcome to another episode of Marvel Movie News on the Popcorn Talk Network, where we break down all the Marvel movie news from all the studios and tell you why you should be as excited as we are. We are broadcasting to you live from the Danger Room. We've got Jatarvis in the booth. Say hello, Jatarvis.
Hello.
Hey, man.
How you doing? Good Thanksgiving, Jatarvis?
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. A lot of movies, a lot of Blu-rays, a lot of food.
Good. All right. You can visit us on Facebook. We're at Marvel News from Marvel fans. Like us, enjoy us, comment on everything that we put up there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Twitter.
Twitter? Yeah, Twitter too.
It's called Twitter, yeah. Twitter at Marvel Schmoes. You can also find me at the Matt Key.
You can find me at M Placo.
At Matt Cook Tweeted.
Also, please go find us on youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network. Or you can just go to popcorntalk.com. They've got a website for it now. Follow them on Twitter at the Popcorn Talk. And please don't forget to subscribe and rate us on iTunes. Keeps us coming back to you every week, which we enjoy doing. Also, quick caveat that we give every single week. We're men. We have facial hair.
Yeah, I've actually been working. I just shaved after Movember. I just finally got rid of it.
Thank God.
I know it was getting a little out of control.
It was getting a little squirrely.
Yeah, it's that Eastern European blood in me. I know.
That's not what I just looked up and saw your facial hair and realized I also have facial hair. I was like, oh, weird.
Yeah.
We are manly men today.
It's so exciting. I have the saddest facial hair. I came in and Jatarvis was like, hey man, nice goatee. And I was like, it's a full beard. And I get that a lot. I get it too much. Nothing comes in here or here.
Yeah, you can just get some makeup to fill that in.
I have a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
This is all makeup.
Oh,
These are all prosthetic. I put each little hair in. There's only 2 of them are mine.
I have to do the same thing. I wonder if you and I are like cousins from like way back.
Same names, same facial hair.
We're related.
Same eye color.
Whoa.
We're related. I bet there was a family argument like a millennia ago, and our last name we used to be Cookie. And now we're Cook and Key.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
Thank God.
Anyway, what I was actually going to say is, please remember we're not experts. We've read a lot. But we're fans just like you, and if we get it wrong, please correct us.
Yes.
Send us your comic book suggestions. Let us know what all's going on with what we're doing wrong. So we love that. We love that. Tell us how to fix it. So
last episode we had stuff about Purple Man come up that like we just didn't talk about, and someone was like wrong, and it was like, well, no, we're not. I mean, we just missed stuff too.
Yeah.
So bring that up in the comments and be like, if we missed something that you really love, tell us about it, and we'll be like, oh my God, that's right, we forgot. We got so worked up.
We also have a time limit. We can't go forever, so we can't cover everything.
I'd
we just tried to. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we can't.
If we could spend an hour about Purple Man.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah.
We would. Kilgrave?
Yeah.
I just read all of the Jessica Jones stuff.
Oh,
really?
Cool.
Yeah. It's
all right.
Awesome. I loved it. I read it all last week. That was my Thanksgiving gift to myself.
That's a good gift.
Anyway, let's start.
Yeah.
Let's get it going. Let's get this going. We are changing things up this week. Instead of starting with Marvel Studios, we're starting with Fox, because Fox finally gave us some big casting news on Apocalypse, and he will be played by none other than Oscar Isaacs.
That's right.
Which is an interesting choice because Marvel had been courting Oscar Isaac for Doctor Strange. I was actually having dinner with some friends the other night, and word is that Feige is actually pretty upset that Fox came in and snagged this out. That's at least the water cooler talk. It's not confirmed, but apparently he was being heavily courted for Doctor Strange, and now he is not, and he is going to be our Apocalypse.
Well, this is great. I'm glad this picture's up because as Apocalypse is one of like the worst villains in X-Men history.
Yeah. Well, in Marvel, he's
in Marvel. Yeah, he's one of the most massive bad guys. And inside Llewyn Davis is such a jerk. Like
I haven't seen it. So.
I was so excited about that movie. Like it was so like, oh my God, give me all that music. His voice, he's got a beautiful voice. The man's incredibly talented, but that character has no redeeming qualities. Like he's kind of evil. So when he was announced as Apocalypse, I was like, I mean, not outright evil. He's not Apocalypse evil, but he's not a nice guy. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I get it.
But
like.
But that's the thing. Apocalypse actually isn't evil either. He is a bad guy, but his whole thing is that his backstory is that he was one of the first mutants, and he was from a time in which he had to fight to survive. And his whole thing is that he wants to create a race of mutants that are the strongest of the strong, like basically Darwinism. And he kind of forces that on. And I guess killing a bunch of humans, genocide, it is pretty evil. But when you actually...
That seems...
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds kind of evil to me.
But when you get into some of the Apocalypse stories and you start seeing some of his mindset, especially when he's not actually acting actively as a villain, when he has to kind of team up with the X-Men or some of the good guys to eventually further his own machinations, you kind of get an understanding for him that, while we perceive him as evil, what he's doing is just kind of natural. So I think, from what you say about Oscar Isaac as his characterization, I think he's going to bring that dynamic to Apocalypse, where he's not just this one-dimension bad guy.
Which is great, because I think Apocalypse is a really tough character to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I'm most interested in is the size of that man. Like, he doesn't seem like a big guy, and Apocalypse has always been a monstrosity.
Yeah,
like,
he's
has always
8
towered
foot tall,
above.
Yeah.
And it's just a big, bulky, blue and purple and gray bad guy, like
smile.
with the
It's a
lines,
weird
like
smile,
it's such a crazy visual. Like everybody else, Wolverine, Cyclops, like everybody, like the original X-Men, I think have pretty easy transitions from comic books onto film.
Yeah.
And like all like Trask and Stryker and all that
they're
stuff.
like dudes.
They're all
They're just
dudes.
good. Yeah.
And this is the first time, I think, really, with the exception of Beast and Mystique and like, but even that's so human. This is Apocalypse, I think, is something more than that visually. I'm excited to see what they do, and I'm excited to see how they use him in that regard visually. I don't know. It's very interesting.
We were talking earlier. I don't like the Apocalypse that we're all familiar with now has been like outfitted with like this ancient celestial technology and all this other stuff. So like his power sets have been like magnified beyond like what they originally were. So I wonder if this is going to be like, oh, this is what he looked like in ancient Egypt, and then they're going to do like some CGI stuff to him and everything. Like, here he is in Aqaba, Ansabanur, which, which, as we all know, means good morning.
Yes.
So
good morning,
Egypt. Good morning.
Yes.
That's hey, here's the bad guy. Good morning. But no, the first one is also the name.
See,
it's multiple translations.
Yes.
The morning light, good morning, the first
Name.
one, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's probably what we're gonna get, and then we'll flash forward to the Age of Apocalypse kind of stuff where he'll be bigger or something.
I'm curious how
what
much.
What am I talking about? I don't even know anymore.
I'm actually curious how much CG they're going to do, because unlike the original X-Men films, the newer ones, I mean, we see Mystique transform a couple times. We've seen her in her native blue skin, but they do, we still haven't even really seen Beast in his secondary like blue fur mutation. I wonder if they're going to try to do more of a power suit for Apocalypse versus try to be a heavily CG'd villain.
Like give him that tech.
Yeah, I think
some form or another.
And bulk him up through tech versus doing a whole like computer generated body over him.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Fox has the money and the capability to do it, but I think they might have learned something from the original films, because they definitely don't stand up over time in terms of
the original X-Men films.
Yeah,
you're crazy.
No, I mean they
X-Men 1 and 2.
If you watch them in terms of production quality, in terms of vis effects, the vis effects don't stand up, is what I'm saying. But I feel like the tech is there that they might.
That Nightcrawler scene
is amazing.
Yeah, but
that goes down in history.
A lot of it, and a lot of
pretty
that
much
stuff
one of the
is
top
practical.
5 amazing things
I don't
I've ever
know.
seen.
I strongly disagree.
Okay,
I think the first two are largely successful still because of Singer's direction. With Singer, who brings such a grounded reality to the films that weren't present in I think a lot of the other ones.
But the third one,
the third one he had nothing.
I know
to do
he had
with. The third one we don't speak of here.
That's true.
The third one is Anathema.
Yeah.
That was exiled to the Isle of Patmos.
Trust me, I know. But what I'm saying with the current gen is I think they rely more on practical effects versus CG, and I think they're going to stick with that, because I think it gives the films longevity.
I agree that practical effects can give it longevity.
I think the practical were in the first two also.
Yeah,
I think that's Singer more than anything.
That's true.
I think that's
agree.
him saying
agree.
it's we have to do it practical, and it does. It makes all the difference.
Yeah,
because everything else will come and go and it'll fade and all that. Yeah,
and the CGI, like it seems like the CGI like just kind of fades away and starts to get worse every single year.
Well, that's why Rebecca Romijn looks so amazing as Mystique, because so much of that was practical effects on her. That wasn't just a CG overlay. So I think they're going to stick with that, and I think we're not going to see crazy blue bulked out Apocalypse with gray
Mocap.
blue. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a lot of mocap, which excites me. I really would like to see more. I don't know. I like practical
I would
effects.
like to see more bathroom scenes from X-Men Origins Wolverine with the claws that were less believable than any visual in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That was the craziest when those giant claws, and he was like, and it was like the effects from the cartoon opening when he was like, whoosh, and it was like the lightning, and it was like those crazy sparks, and he was cutting. It was like, what's happening here?
Do you guys know I've only seen the last 20 minutes because I know I've mentioned this. I was not allowed to watch X-Men Origins Wolverine because my friends knew I would I tend to.
Oh, I thought you meant like your mom and dad wouldn't let you watch it.
No,
for
my
religious
friends.
reasons. I was
No,
like,
my
what?
friends would not let me watch it because I tend to not be one of those angry nerds that I accept that the film universe exists in its own, but I was told it was such a terrible movie that I would just like nerd rage hardcore.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for True Blood to start on HBO, and it was the last 20 minutes of that godforsaken movie where you have Emma Frost leaving
I think
prison.
that's in the same area with X-Men 3. We just don't speak of it.
But we do speak more of that one, which is interesting. I think that says a lot, that we're like happy to be here and be like, oh my God, Origins. But it's like, don't talk about number 3. Don't
So-
you
But
say
So
it.
I
The
still,
last 20 minutes.
I have that's all I've seen, and I got so angry just in the last 20 minutes.
Well, I
was
just
like,
think
I can't.
Deadpool is enough to like upset
crazy.
anyone. And, okay,
crazy.
you know what? We're not gonna
not
talk
gonna get
about
into it.
Wolverine
You know-
Origins anymore.
No.
We'll put up a little video dissecting that movie
Yeah.
on our YouTube page sometime
Yeah,
in the
we'll
future.
do that. I am excited about X-Men Apocalypse. I'm excited. I'm not very familiar with Oscar Isaac's work. He was in Drive, and I can't remember, and he was in Born Legacy, and I can't particularly place which characters.
He's gonna be in
Obviously,
Star
I've seen
Wars.
him.
Yeah. We saw him in the trailer. He's
I know,
flying
I know.
X-Wing. Oh, it's so
Anyway,
cute.
wrong show.
I know. I could.
Yeah.
I know.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
I think he's a terrific actor. I'm excited to see how they utilize him as this like crazy character and this massive
With
character.
crazy power sets.
I'm
Like,
excited
he can
to
do
see
almost everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like him, and I'm excited to see him do anything, especially something like this.
yeah. All right.
Next.
Well, anything else we want to say about Oscar Isaacs? Because we got to move on to
No,
some
he's
Fantastic
great.
Four news.
Well, actually, I was going to say there were some people who asked some essential Apocalypse stories, and I know
yeah.
a lot of
Tell us.
our viewers and listeners might not be super familiar. And obviously, if you want to get into the whole Apocalypse storyline, the main one to start is with the X-Men Age of Apocalypse omnibus. It's out there. You can kind of get his whole original story. It's an alternate universe story. It's really good. You can read it. I read it in an evening. I power through comics, so it's a good weekend read.
That's wild.
I know.
I had the
That's
same
lot.
reaction.
I love it, and you get to see different characterizations of some of the established X-Men.
like Nightcrawler's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, and Sabretooth is actually a good guy.
Colossus is fried.
Yes.
He's just over it.
He's
Yeah.
just so
He's over the death and the fighting.
It's
right.
it's one of the best X-Men stories. Also, Wolverine Apocalypse the 12 is a pretty good tie-in. It deals with a prophecy based on Apocalypse that there's going to be the 12 that he seeks to kind of bring about in his new world order, and you get to see Wolverine be evil in this.
Oh,
It's
I'm
really,
actually not familiar
it's
with that
really
one.
really good. And then of course there's his first Apocalypse's first appearances, which was in X Factor. So if you pick up
Number
Essential
5?
yeah,
Yep.
and Essential X Factor Volume 1 and 2 will actually have his origins. And then one of my favorite Apocalypse storylines is X-Men Executioner's Song, which introduces Strife, which I believe is I think we're gonna see Strife in this. I think
do you think we'll also see Cable then?
I think we're going to see Cable. What I kind of believe is that X-Men Apocalypse, the film, is going to be based more on Executioner's Song because it takes place in the right
it takes
time
place,
period.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
80s, 90s time period. It's a X-Men, Age of Apocalypse is a great story. It is AU.
Yeah.
It takes place in an alternate universe, which might be too much to explain, where I feel Executioner's Song is really going to help ground it. And there's also some really great things that happen with Professor X and Magneto in it that I feel they could tie in with their current movie counterparts.
Man, it's been forever since I read that.
It's really good. And then
I should be taking notes on your suggestions.
Yeah.
well, and then more modern times when they rebooted Uncanny X-Force,
Yeah.
they had the Apocalypse Solution,
Oh yeah, the
which
Dark Angel.
was they bring back Dark Angel, and you actually see a reborn Apocalypse in the form of a young boy named Evan, and there's a very tough decision that has to be made, and they question
That's great.
That's
really good.
I'm not going to spoil the outcome, but the
Right.
question is, you have this child who's going to grow up to be a mass murderer, a genocidal maniac. What do you do with that knowledge? What do you do with that
Well,
child?
and it also becomes a question of nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, and can you
Which
take
is great.
that child and
And it's
change
written
him?
by Rick Remender,
Remender,
who
and-
in the last year I've grown to love.
That series is great.
That series is amazing.
It looks beautiful. The characters are awesome. It's a really cool team. I recommend that one.
Yeah.
highly.
Take this away. Executioner Song and Dark Angel Saga.
From Uncanny X-Force.
Yeah.
Yes. Really,
So-
really good.
All right, we got to move on. Moving on. Fantastic Four finally came out with a plot synopsis. That's the first thing we've heard from Fantastic Four in a long
Since
time.
the Doom blogger.
Yeah, since Doomblog. So here's the synopsis. A contemporary reimagining of Marvel's original and longest-running superhero team centers on 4 young outsiders who teleport to an alternate and dangerous universe which alters their physical form in shocking ways. Their lives irrevocably upended, the team must learn to harness their daunting new abilities and work together to save Earth from a former friend turned enemy. I'm guessing that it's Doomblogger.
That's a crazy guess.
That's crazy.
I don't know. That's nothing that I didn't expect.
Yeah, I just wish it was more seamless. That's
I know.
my biggest thing.
I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I feel like they all played the equivalent of World of Warcraft together, and then they had a falling out in their guild, and this is
Oh, I
what's
bet
going
so.
to spur.
Doom went for the Horde.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like, you can't go Horde.
No, can't
I don't
go
know.
hard. I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested to see. There's like all those like the keywords in there, like outsiders and daunting and
reimagining.
yeah, like all that stuff. It's like, all right, I just want to see something. I'm so nervous and just like I said it in the last episode. Like I would love a good Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah,
I think
it'd be
it's
great.
cool. I've never been a big Fantastic Four guy, but I hope they can do it. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see what happens.
I don't know. Anyway, if you're curious, it seems. I mean, this is the Ultimate origin.
Yes.
Like this is how they
Yeah.
redid it in the Ultimates. One of the things they did in the Ultimates that I actually thought was cool that I never realized was that all their powers are the 4 elements.
Oh.
I didn't know that. So Reed Richards can stretch and fill any space like water. Thing is rock. Human Torch is fire, and
Sue Storm
Invisible
is
air.
is air.
Oh.
That's great.
I was like,
very
oh, that's kind of
magical.
cool. But like, and it had something to do with like them going through the dimension, the portal, and everything else. They got scattered throughout.
Right.
Then they came back together and realized they all had these weird powers, and it was cool. Anyway, that was actually a really good read. Reed Richards is like they're all like these teenage geniuses. They're all in this like super smart kind of school.
Yeah.
And,
I like the idea that Johnny's actually smart.
yeah, they were all kind of smart characters.
Kinda.
So
He's always been kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the Fantastic Four
yeah,
universe.
and then Reed and Doom were in school together and went from there.
So this is it's from Ultimate Fantastic Four. So if anybody who's listening is interested, maybe check out the Ultimate Fantastic Four run, which I haven't, but you've read and you liked.
I liked it. You know, I liked the first couple arcs through it. I didn't read much past that.
All right.
So, but yeah, it was great. Anyway, heading over to Marvel Studios. First of all, we heard that Age of Ultron will be shooting some new footage in January. Can I say I was not aware of this, and I know I texted you too, but the audience was not privy to that text message since I didn't text all of our listeners.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. I'm a terrible person. I'm sorry. But I didn't know that Loki was in this. I didn't know that Tom Hiddleston was in Age of Ultron at all. Like, I don't know how I missed that. But
Yeah.
that changes all my theories.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
it's not a big thing. Like there was a small he shot some scenes over the summer, and my understanding from it is that it's all like Scarlet Witch mind warpy stuff. I
That's
don't
what I'm
think
thinking it
it's
is, too.
actually going to be like current canon. I think it's going to be playing on Thor and some fears
Yeah.
because for all anyone knows in the MCU, Loki is dead, even though he's not. He's Odin technically.
Yeah, well, that's a
now.
dramatic irony.
Yeah.
We all know that he's alive, but no
Yeah.
one else knows that.
It would be strange for him to tip his hand in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also thought, like, he's not one to share the spotlight. And, like, even in the first Avengers, he's like, oh, he's a total diva, you know,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And there's a chance that he's like, Ultron, who do you think? These are my
Yeah.
toys.
This is
You
mine.
don't play with my toys.
Get
And
out
he
of my
can step
toy
in
box.
and, like, mess things up a little bit.
That would be awesome.
But you think,
Oh,
Uh-oh.
What is it, Jarvis? You scared me with that one.
That was a good one.
That was a really good one.
Seeing we are in Marvel, I got some breaking news on interwebs.
Really?
Oh, really?
Ryan Reynolds is officially going to return as Deadpool in an X-Men spin-off film.
Wait, it's official?
It's official. Variety has just reported.
Oh my
Whoa.
God!
Hey.
I saw that he was
Wow.
saying stuff on Twitter about it, but I didn't know it was
But it's
official.
actually
Yay.
happening.
Oh my goodness!
Jarvis.
Wait.
Jarvis! All
Way
right,
to
well that's
go.
great news. Does it? What details does it give? Does it say when they'll start shooting or when it's going to be released?
It's slotted for February 12th, 2016, and Tim Miller is directing.
What has he done?
Who's Tim Miller?
I'm not sure what else he has done.
Jarvis, what good are you?
Hold on.
Wow, you bring us breaking
But
news
isn't
with
I'm
no.
pretty sure he's the guy that made that whole concept that leaked around Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently that worked.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
great.
awesome.
Oh, he did. Directed Rockfish, which was a short. It just announced for Deadpool. He did vis effects for Scott Pilgrim. He was the creative supervisor.
They'll need
Yeah.
someone like that for
I
Deadpool.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But yeah, he actually hasn't done a lot. He's written a lot of shorts. His background seems to be in vis effects. This will be his first feature-length directorial debut.
Great.
So
Okay. That's
should be-
awesome.
yeah, I think. I mean, that's exciting. He seems to be a fan of the medium.
Yeah.
So, and especially if he had anything to do with that Deadpool teaser that leaked, then
that
I think
Deadpool
it's going to
teaser
be in
was so
great
good.
hands.
So we'll just touch on Deadpool real quick.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I think while I would prefer a rated R version of Deadpool, I do think a PG-13 version will work, and I think it will work really well because of the fourth wall breakingness of Deadpool. I think the character of Deadpool will have a lot of fun with it.
So if you guys check it out, I'm sorry I had to interrupt,
Yeah.
but Ryan Reynolds announced it with a tweet saying, ellipses, it's chimichanga time, and then put up
that's
put up
awesome.
an incredible
It's a
Deadpool.
photo of a bunch of bullets,
Bullet shells, bullet casings.
in Deadpool's.
Here, can you guys see it? No, I'm kidding.
I know, it's really good.
Check it out,
Yeah,
Variety.
we'll post it on our website.
Variety
Yeah.
has the
Yeah.
picture now. We'll put it up.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well, and
that's great.
Going
Yeah.
back to the PG-13, I think it's going to cause them to write a better story.
Yeah,
Because you're going to have to be
You
smart
can't rely
about
on
it.
you can't rely on the rated R
Exactly.
ness of it. Like, oh, here's all this violence and he's cursing and it's hilarious. You can't rely on that anymore. But I do think because he can break the fourth wall and will break the fourth wall, he'll do stuff like, kids right here, I'd say, but I can't say that because it's PG-13.
Yeah.
So going back to I think he'll do that. Can I also say, I really hope that the villain in this is Hitmonkey.
What?
What? Jarvis, I heard.
Who the heck is Hit Monkey?
Hitmonkey.
Hit or hit?
You guys, I don't think you
Hitmonkey.
could hear it listening.
I know.
But Matt said Hitmonkey, and Jarvis in the booth went, okay. Like,
No, I haven't read a lot of Deadpool, but what I have read of Deadpool, Hitmonkey is my favorite thing ever. He is literally a monkey who taught himself how to be a hitman after seeing his entire herd of monkeys. What do you call a group of monkeys? It's not a herd. I know it's not a herd.
Colony?
Colony of monkeys. Someone in Marvel fan world, tell me what a
someone
group
in
of
zoology. tell us.
zoology. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you're a zoologist listening to this, please correct me.
Anyway, he sees
but
all his monkey family get
he
killed.
sees his entire monkey family get killed because they are there's a hitman who's living with them. Like, he escaped being killed, finds these monkeys. They all take him in, help keep him safe, feed him, stuff like that. If I remember it all correctly, then this guy gets killed in a pool of blood. This monkey watches it all happen, goes down and picks up the gun and teaches himself how to do it.
That is some Dexter level.
Yeah.
And
right there.
But Hitmonkey is like the deadliest assassin in the world.
Yeah.
So like
He's a monkey.
So Deadpool shows up in New York. I think this was in Deadpool, and it ends up being a Spider-Man team up where Spider-Man's like, get out of New York, and he's like, no, I'm here to get Hitmonkey.
Yeah, 'cause
like,
Hitmonkey's
I've got to stop
tearing
Hitmonkey.
up the scene.
Yeah, and Spider-Man's like, there's no such thing as Hitmonkey. It's like this figment of Deadpool's imagination. Everyone thinks he's insane. He's not insane. It's an actual monkey, and it has some of the best action frames I've ever seen because he's got guns in each hand and he's
And
swinging.
his feet and his tail.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's the
he's
best.
just-
It's the best.
Okay.
And he's like this he's this strangely sympathetic character.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Isn't that great?
You
Hit
just
Monkey.
made a compelling argument for Hit
Yeah,
Monkey.
okay.
It's hard not to.
Okay.
You tell me there's a monkey using a bunch of guns and wearing
Yeah,
a
right?
suit. I'm like,
I mean,
yeah.
it
No,
worked
and he's
for
wearing a
Rocket
suit.
Raccoon.
Like,
He has a
oh,
suit and a tie and
see?
sunglasses.
Exactly. We've got Rocket Raccoon. This is Fox's Rocket.
It could be. Think of the merchandising.
Hit Monkey, come on.
Merchandising.
Merchandising. All right, so Jatarvis, thank you for the
Monkey
breaking news.
Flamethrower. The kids love that one.
Let's make a movie, a Hit Monkey spinoff.
That's very exciting
Yeah.
that's happening. I hope
Okay.
it's rated R.
Yeah.
And I hope it has a great story too.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what that character deserves.
Yeah. I do too, but I do think if it's PG-13, I won't be upset.
I
I'm
won't.
not going
I'll
to
be
rage
there.
a bit.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
hope Ryan Reynolds doesn't whisper through the whole thing.
Oh my god.
Does-
He's
Is
such a
he-
quiet guy. He's just always like, oh yeah, well, this is what I have something snarky to say, and it's like, oh, I hope you know what I mean? Like that's every movie. I think
I've never
he's
noticed
great.
it. I've never noticed
You're gonna
it.
not ever not
now,
notice it now.
thank you.
He'll be like, speak up.
it's like every single character on Once Upon a Time whispers.
It's true.
Yeah, I
They
just
do.
admitted it. I watched Once Upon a Time.
So do
Okay.
It's okay.
Anyway, Age of Ultron footage being shot in January. From what I understand, it's going to be mostly like some pickup action sequences and stuff. So it's probably not going to be anything
I don't
huge.
know. It makes me wonder, if, based on the their slate announcement, if they're going to be kind of adding some more stingers in.
It could be some more stingers. I've also I saw something where Chadwick Boseman was talking the other day, and it seemed like he may have slipped that he might be in Age of Ultron at some point. So
Well-
they might be doing something with that. I
What
don't
would
know.
you like to see? Like, if you could have anything teased for the
Oh.
MCU in these new shots, what would you want to see?
Wait, like at the end, like the end trailer, the
yeah,
end teaser,
like a stinger.
Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Like that's it. Like I want to see. Like I want them to happen up on the Sanctum Sanctorum, or to end up like in some extra dimensional thing because of like Ultron does something. I don't know, but somehow they have to get in touch with Doctor Strange, or he just makes an appearance. Like his cloak of levitation is going all bananas, and he's like, "I'm Doctor Strange. Horio Savagas. Hello."
Do you
So
have,
that Doctor Strange is played by the Count
Yes.
from Sesame Street.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
That's
Count
or Count Chocula. Some form of animated or felt
Yes.
vampire.
Or both.
harmless vampire.
Yeah.
yeah,
Or both.
or Bunnicula.
What about you? What do you want to see?
I would actually like to see Captain Marvel reveal.
Oh, early. That seems a little early.
It
It's
might-
2017 for her,
But
right?
it is, but because I think it would tie in to some of the Avengers
Yeah.
stuff.
Sure.
I mean, it's a little early, but I think fans would lose their minds more over the Captain Marvel reveal, and no offense, than Doctor Strange. I
None taken.
think
None taken.
yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
allowed to our
Yeah.
opinions, even when they're wrong.
I just bought the first Captain Marvel trade on Black Friday. I went to Golden Apple and
Yeah.
spent more money than I should have. But I'm like, it's all on sale.
It's all on
I'm
sale.
saving money.
That's how they get you.
But I haven't read any Captain Marvel, so I know you guys
Is
were
that Kelly,
talking.
Kelly Sue?
Yeah,
Right,
I think
it's
so.
great.
But you guys were saying it's
really
great, so
good.
I picked it
Yeah.
up. But I haven't read it yet because
I actually like this current
haven't.
run better
More.
than the other run.
I didn't like the first.
I think this is like volume 3 or
yeah,
whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
The first run, the first 7 was not.
well, where were
that's-
you on Friday?
Not in your
here.
back pocket,
Well,
I guess.
it's good to read to establish, but they get.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I know so little
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Carol
So-
Danvers, and I just it'll be good.
What
But
do
I'm
you-
excited.
Yeah. What do you want to see from Age of Ultron? pickup
At front,
shoots?
I mean, I think I'd like to see Doctor Strange. I think that's a crazy character, but
It's
I
just
also
so
I
crazy.
can't wait to see Black Panther, and I hope that's it. And maybe that's why maybe the reshoots aren't
Yeah.
unscheduled. Maybe they had stuff in Age of Ultron for Black
Yeah.
Panther, but they couldn't lock down an actor,
That's
and they had to
true.
wait to
Yeah.
close the deal. So
Yeah.
like shoot everything else, and then once we get our guy, we'll figure out when we can get him on,
Yeah.
and that's what they're reshooting, which would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's Hemsworth, Downey Jr., Ruffalo,
Well,
Jeremy
they're all
Renner,
open.
Bettany.
Yeah, it says that
so-
keep your schedule open, but nobody's locked
But
in.
it's everybody.
But yeah, it is.
It was an all back. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
for all we know, it could just be some new fight scene. But I think it's going to be good. I
I'm
think
just
it's gonna be good.
excited. I don't
know.
care.
So, yeah.
Like,
I
that's the
know.
one that I'm like, oh, just
Yeah.
come on.
I know. Can
Why
it
are
be
we
time?
waiting?
Yeah.
All right, so and along those lines, we can't show you because Disney's asked to pull all the footage, but we did get first look at the Vision.
Yes. Oh my God.
It
It
was
was
cool.
so cool looking.
Yeah, it's all taken down. I mean, I looked all over the internet to
Yeah.
try to find someone that still had it. I
I
should
still
have
have
taken
it.
a screen
I
grab.
still
Did
have
you
it.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, my friend Audrey over at the Geek Girl Authority just texted me saying that Kristen Ritter was cast as Jessica Jones.
Oh, Oh.
Whoa.
It is breaking
Wow,
news,
breaking
guys.
news.
How
This is why we
about
moved our
Thursdays?
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
That's
So we can
amazing.
talk about that in a
Kristen
little bit when we
Ritter.
get to Netflix. But I just wanted to
That's
say
awesome.
that I just got that. So
Whoa.
Yeah. Well-
so Fox is like, we have Deadpool, and Marvel's
then it's
like,
like-
we have Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
I'm excited
most
about
people
the
are like,
Vision
who?
look.
Me
real
too.
quick, yeah.
I think it looks great.
And as soon as we get permission to post that image, we will. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was exactly what we've already seen, you know.
from the
but like,
concept art,
face.
but now it's like his
yeah.
face and everything else, and it was like
pulls together so well.
it looks so good. And it again, as I've said in other episodes, I just love that they're hearkening back to the original
Yeah, they
costume.
are.
Yeah,
They really
Yeah,
are.
I mean, just that one image looked really cool. It was sad. He looked sad.
I
His
know.
eyeballs looked really cool. I like the way
Yeah,
his
but he
I don't know, I'm
had
so
a
into
weight.
the
He had like
eyes.
such a weighty, heavy,
Yeah.
like some terrible thing
Yes.
just happened, and it's great.
It was really cool. And he was in the center of all the Avengers, which was really cool.
Yeah.
He was in
Yeah.
the middle, and everybody else was kind of
around
surrounding
him, yeah.
And
Makes-
I mean, it wasn't a frame from the movie. It was promotional art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was the first head-on look at the character, which was
really
cool.
good.
and it looks good with the stripes and
Yeah,
everything. Yeah,
I like
I'll show
it.
you. I'll show you after the show.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, but I was like, "Where's it still up?" And
Yeah.
it's not up anywhere.
It's in
which
my
is why
email.
we can't show it.
Yeah. So, moving on, we got to move fast. Ant-Man, still over at Marvel Studios. We had Judy Greer reveal that she is actually playing Scott Lang's ex-wife,
Peggy Ray.
Peggy Ray. Yeah, I think we have a picture of her. She was debuted in the Young Avengers. She's a recently relatively new character.
Yeah.
But
But Judy Greer is gonna be such a great. She looks the part. I don't know if we lost that image, Jarvis, of Peggy Ray, but she really just kinda, She I think she'll pull it off really well. And I love Judy Greer from Arrested Development and
so
Archer.
funny.
She's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Everything. She's
Yeah.
so great.
She's great and everything, and she'll be a really fun foil for Paul Rudd to
I
play
agree.
with. But everyone's excited because what that means is that maybe we have a Cassie Lang and Scott Lang's daughter, all of
Yeah.
that whole story. Like,
It really
are we
will
gonna
bring a
end
lot
up
of
with a stature like
humanization.
from Young Avengers? Like that's
Yeah.
what everyone's excited about now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's going to bring a lot of like humanization to the character. It's really
Yeah.
going to ground it. It's going to make things have weight and
Yeah.
consequence.
There'll be stakes.
Yeah,
There's
there'll
going to
be
be some
stakes. There's
stakes
definitely
for
be some
Scott Lang to
stakes.
play up against.
Yeah.
So, anyway, moving on. We're moving fast. We've also got Evangeline Lilly talked about Ant-Man.
Yeah. She just, she's really excited. She thinks Edgar Wright has the right idea. His stories were brilliant.
Yeah.
You know?
So more or less,
So
I mean, you can find the whole interview on BuzzFeed if you want to see the whole thing. What were you going to say, Cook?
She said, I think I read, I mean, I don't know if the whole thing's on here, but she's like, but it wouldn't have fit, like Edgar Wright's thing.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. That was the big
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
That it was a great call, and he's great, but it wouldn't have fit in the Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinematic
So they had
universe.
McKay and Rudd come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of do some rewrites based on what they wanted for the studio, and now it fits.
It works. Yeah.
So
she's excited about it. She
Yeah.
refused to. What was it? I was reading that she refused to like shoot her scene during like the day of dress rehearsal until she read that script. I believe is
until
what she was saying.
no, it was
Yeah.
a costume fitting.
Oh,
She went in for
costume
costume
fitting,
fittings and
yeah.
such. And she was like, "No, I'm not doing it until I've read this new script."
Yeah.
And then she read it, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I see what you guys needed to do. Okay, no, I agree. This is awesome."
That's great.
So, and lots of news has been coming off the set of various actors who have worked on the set and everything, and everyone says it's just been the best experience.
Yeah, and I
So-
actually have some friends back in Atlanta who are working on it on the production side, and they've just said it's fun. They're enjoying it. The costumes are amazing. Everything I've heard about from the wardrobe department
Yeah.
is that the costumes are fantastic. So I'm pretty
Super
stoked
excited.
about that.
So anyway, Sony, no news except there was a giant hack
Yeah.
that happened.
Which, did you hear what was alleged?
No.
That it was because of the movie The Interview?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I did. Yeah, like North Korea did it somehow.
Yeah,
or
they
something
were like,
that.
don't put that movie, whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think is really fascinating, and which actually made me think about the Doctor Doom stuff we talked about on the last show.
Yeah.
Of like the power of the internet and the
Yeah.
power of computers and all that stuff, which was
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
But also crazy.
So now Doctor Doom is holed up and living in North Korea.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
Doctor Doom is just really angry because
Latveria.
he is never going to see his film, and he's a huge Spider-Man fan, so he actually
Yeah.
hacked Sony
To find out where they're at.
And
And then he got upset and
Yeah.
hacked all
If
of it.
he was a
Yeah.
huge Spider-Man fan, he would have hacked Sony and released the rights back to Marvel for Spider-Man.
well, maybe that's what they're keeping under wraps.
Maybe.
We don't know this.
That would be
just-
the Spider-Man
That would
fan
be.
move.
Yeah, I'm
That's
Like,
true.
oh, but it's all signed. It's
still
all-
holding on for my
yeah.
Golden Oldies
Yeah.
show.
But yeah, that's the big news from Sony. They had a big
Yeah.
hack, and the internet was down on.
And this
on
is an issue with Sony because they've had hacks with the PlayStation Network in the recent past, and there's just a lot of security issues going on over at Sony, and they need to tie that down.
Moving on.
Yeah,
We're
moving on. Yeah,
going to television. So, first of all, the 50th anniversary of the Inhumans is coming up. First, they debuted in Fantastic Four number 45. And the 50th anniversary is coming up, and Marvel is doing a bunch of variant covers with Inhumans on the cover and stuff like that. Do we have that picture, Jatarvis? So here's one of the covers. Was it comicbook.com?
Comicbook.com
looked into
released
this?
these. Yeah, they looked into this.
So they looked in a little bit closer. I think we can zoom in, right, Jatarvis? There are some symbols close
on the floor.
to, I believe,
bottom left.
Yeah, it's near Black Bolt's foot. I believe. No, it's not Black Bolt. Gorgon's foot.
Gorgon.
If we zoom in.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
See, we've got Inhuman symbols
that
very strongly resemble the symbols that we've been seeing on S.H.I.E.L.D. So now some people on the internet are going nuts saying, we're totally getting Inhumans on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Kree, they finally
said
Kree.
Yeah. They finally said Kree on S.H.I.E.L.D.
The four-letter word.
By the way, if you're not caught up on S.H.I.E.L.D. and you're now thinking, maybe I should be watching this show, you can watch the whole first season on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Right.
I highly recommend doing it, even though
you can blow past the first half.
Yeah, just go find the episode. I think it's called Tahiti.
Yes.
Watch that. Watch the pilot. Watch Tahiti. Then watch from there on.
Yeah,
out,
and read the Wikipedia synopsis of the episodes in between pilot and Tahiti.
Yeah,
it made the difference for me.
Yeah,
I actually got into no.
But everything, the second half of the season is great. This whole second season's been lots of fun. This week's episode was. They said Kree, and and they're looking for an underground city, and it's got to be Adelan, even though it's in the Caribbean, but it's still Adelan.
My Twitter feed blew up. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, Kree! Oh my God!" They said it. I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." And because I'm, it's weird being West Coast now.
Yeah.
I lived on the East Coast up until a couple months ago, and I got to see things as they aired, and now I'm like. Man, now I understand the spoiler hate. Now I know how it goes. I'm like, I have to avoid the internet for 2 hours.
That's why I just don't hang out on social media at all. So
I have no life.
Anyway, but that is very exciting to think about. Like the Inhumans are already making their presence known. Yeah.
And I think it's smart.
And their movie doesn't come out for another 5 years?
Yeah,
I think 2019
it's
or something.
It's going to give a really good angle for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, it'll be. And if you saw anything about next week, it looks like Skye finally meets her dad. I wonder if we finally get her real name since Skye is not her actual name.
And then there's talk. I saw someone. I don't know if it was on our page or a different page, but someone was saying that they think Skye's dad is the brother of Black Bolt, Maximus.
Maximus. Yeah, I thought about that too.
Mad, whatever.
Yeah.
Maximus the Mad.
Yeah,
that should be.
Which would be
pretty Maximus Boltagon the Mad.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would. And he's a good actor. I could see him being in the films in the future. Yeah. So there's who's
that's
the
cool.
other one?
That's cool news.
I love that name. Yeah.
I love that came out on the cover of a comic book. Like that.
I know.
Like the ties are being
Marvel, they have this down.
They're great.
They know how this works.
What's up, Jatarvis?
Somebody who gave up on S.H.I.E.L.D. fairly early.
Yeah.
How well are they doing connecting it to the actual cinematic universe? I know the whole S.H.I.E.L.D. things.
But it's been okay. I mean, they haven't really done a whole lot this season because they would have to be connecting to Guardians, but what they're doing right now is it feels like they are connecting to that side of, not necessarily to the Guardians themselves, but just to the cosmic side with the Kree and the Inhumans and everything else. They've started, the show this week was the myth of the fallen Blue Angels or whatever, like the Blue Angels who came to Earth to correct it or fix it or something like
I'm
that.
behind.
And it's really smart of them to do that because so much what's going on in the next 2-3 years in this Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be very much grounded in Earth, and I think to lay the foundations for the whole open cosmic world on S.H.I.E.L.D. is a smart move. So I think I think they're still making the TV show. You can watch it without having seen the films, which is again a smart business move. But they are giving a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of glimpses into it, so it can all eventually tie together.
Do they actually add to the movies at all? Will it give you any insight to any of the films?
I think
eventually, probably.
Yeah,
I think this is the biggest. This is the biggest tie-in
Yeah.
so far as the writing and all that, and but as far as direct stuff goes, and I'm a few episodes behind. I don't watch it
I'll give
like
it a
I
shot. It's
should.
on Netflix though.
Yeah, the first season's on Netflix.
Yeah. I think the best season from last season, or the best episode from last season, was the one directly after Winter Soldier.
Oh, that was
when
epic.
they
It was
tied
great.
directly into what was
Yeah.
going on with Shield was fantastic.
Anyway, so moving on from that, because we're running out of time very fast here. Agent Carter premiere is going to be 2 hours.
Yay!
I think that's exciting.
I'm excited.
Not really a whole lot to say about that,
just
except that
2
it's
hours
news.
of Peggy Carter.
That's
I'm okay
cool.
with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Peggy Carter action in the late 40s, early 50s. I'm down. Netflix, Daredevil. Stephen DeKnight, the showrunner for Daredevil, went to Twitter the other day and was answering some random questions. Among the highlights, it's not completely based on the Miller run, but it drew inspiration from it. He'd love to do a Punisher movie eventually, but he doesn't think there's enough material there for a TV show. This Daredevil series will be filled with Easter eggs. He would love to have Wilbur Day on the show, who is also known as Stiltman. When asked how much they had to say no to shots or ideas due to budget, he said, actually, not that much. So I think we can
nice.
expect a lot of really cool things from Daredevil.
Or a lot of office talk. Like, maybe they didn't have to turn it down because it's like more
It's all office
litigation.
talk.
Yeah,
and-
or it's actually like a courtroom procedural.
yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just like,
We never see Matt Murdock actually don the
Yeah.
horns.
You just see him like go through like an air duct, and it's like, and then you see the newspaper the next day, and it's
Yeah.
like Daredevil again.
Daredevil again.
It's like,
Rah.
oh man.
That's like Law and Order.
Yeah, it would be.
Also, Rosario Dawson with MTV News talked about being night nurse. There she is. She's a giant nerd, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, she loves her comics. She loves like, I think she's a big D&D fan. Like, so that just makes her out. And she mentioned that she goes to Burning Man, which is that makes my heart sing a
So
little
you
bit.
need to find her next year.
I
And,
do.
and
I need
be
to find
like-
her and ask her if she's going to be in Doctor Strange, because she mentioned she would love to be in the Doctor Strange movie.
I feel like it's rare when an actor says, "I would love to do blank," that they ever get it.
yeah,
Like,
no,
Yeah.
I'm not saying
But-
that's
no,
going to
I'm
happen.
not
but
saying
it's-
either,
yeah.
but I'm saying it's kind of a weird, like, I feel like don't do that.
I just thought it was
Yeah.
awesome that
She knew.
She
like,
knew,
She's like,
like-
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I
that,
agree.
like, I thought it was awesome. She's like, oh yeah, well, of course, like, she even quoted, I think, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, The Oath, like, it would be cool if I was in a Doctor Strange movie. I was like, oh,
That'd be awesome.
oh my goodness. Anyway, so that's all the news we've got. Now we're going to go on to the Thanksgiving question real quick.
Yes.
Which was if you could have Thanksgiving with any hero, villain, or character in Marvel, who would it be? We got Cliff Rivera saying Galactus, because who knows eating better than him, as he says.
But see, Galactus wouldn't prepare the meal. You would be the meal.
That's true. Look, I'm not saying I want
Or
Galactus.
you would find the meal and
Yeah,
watch him
but-
eat it.
Oh.
and
Yeah.
he'd be
Oh,
like,
then you'd be the herald. And you'd go
Yeah.
find a
Yeah.
turkey of a world. Yeah.
turkey of a world.
Turkey of a world. We had Colin Graham say Captain America because America, as he said. But then he goes on to say he has lots of friends, guests, other heroes respect him, and it would be like a Norman Rockwell like Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, I could
so it's
see
nice,
that.
yeah. Jonathan Graves said Volstagg because he knows exactly what's needed on the dinner table. He may eat all of it, but if you're quick enough, you'll get something good. We had Wes Holton say Thor because he would give it an Asgardian twist, and there would be Asgardian music and plenty of ale, and he would bring other Asgardians down to Midgard, and it would be this epic party.
But I think
Elizabeth
Katie,
Dover,
she summed it up really well, though. She said Thor knows how to put together a feast worthy of gods, and not only allows but insists on throwing dishes.
Yeah, so Thor's a pretty good choice. Chris Bazaldu, sorry, Chris, said Professor X because no matter how average the food actually is, he'll make you think it's amazing. And then, as Ian Daniel pointed out, Wolverine would be there, and he would slice the turkey very well. So,
Yeah.
Finlay Calvert said Tony Stark after a few drinks would be good
Oh,
for
that'd be like
Thanksgiving.
having your awkward uncle there.
Yeah.
Awkward Uncle Stark. And then Langley Neely said Thanos and Death. It would be a very special Thanksgiving episode of their own new ABC sitcom. They'd invite every cosmic level villain and being: Galactus, Adam Warlock, Mephisto, the kids, Gamora, and Nebula. Plus Thanos would prepare to do battle with the Christmas decorations, competing with the neighbors across the street, especially Darkseid and Granny Goodness.
It's great.
That's my favorite. I think
I love
that's
it.
the one I'm gonna.
That's your vote,
that's
Thanos
my
and
vote,
Death?
Yeah.
Cook.
Because it continues our Thanos and Death rom-com.
Which I love.
Yes.
Which I love. So now it's not a rom-com movie. Now it's a
series.
It's a series.
That's great.
I'll take it. What do you think, Cook?
I think Professor X or Volstagg, but I feel like Volstagg, you die of alcohol poisoning.
That's true.
There'd
Yeah.
be so
That's
much
true.
mead and stuff. But that seems like the most fun. I'd have to say then Thor, because Volstagg would probably be there.
Yeah.
And then you get
That's
all
true.
the good stuff.
That's true. Okay. So
I don't know, man. I'm just hungry.
No, I know.
I know, right? All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go with Thanos and Death.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think so, just because. No, you know what?
You'd want to be there for that?
I don't want to be. You're right. The question is who would throw not what is the best answer,
Yeah.
who would throw the best Thanksgiving.
Right.
Professor X would throw the best Thanksgiving.
See, but even then, it's like, no, he wouldn't. He'd trick you. I think it's Thor.
Yeah. I think it is Thor.
I think Thor is the one who would
Because
put
imagine
on the
some
best
mystical
Thanksgiving.
Asgardian turkey creature.
Yeah.
How amazing would that be?
Just like a 10-foot tall boar upside down with an
Yeah.
apple in its mouth.
All right.
and like,
Thanksgiving goes to Thor.
who
Thanksgiving
would
goes to
throw
Thor.
the best Thanksgiving?
You're right,
Not
you're right.
Who would
What-
lie the best? Or what
what would make the
sitcom
best
we want to
sitcom?
watch?
All right.
I
Okay.
think it's Thor.
All right.
Right.
All right. So Wes Holton, though there is no prize this week, and I apologize
Yeah.
for that. You won.
Pride.
And Katie Elizabeth Dover, you came in with
Well,
Thor
yeah.
after Wes had already said it.
So take that pride and run
the
with
pride
it.
and
Good
run.
job.
So the question of the week for next week is for Wizard World tickets. I'm sorry, but it is it's only good for North American residents unless you want to fly to America and go to the show
Yeah.
because we can't provide travel. But
It's just for tickets to the show.
it's for tickets to the show. We can get you through the door. Room board,
Travel,
travel.
that's on you.
It's all on you.
Sorry.
But we'll get you in. I think it's like $100 a ticket, so you're saving $200.
Great.
Yeah.
I vote for my answer.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You should play.
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
play. So the question of the week is good buddy cop title for a Rocket and Groot team up. Like if they were to star in a buddy cop film, what's the title of that film?
That's great.
I
Yeah,
love
it's great.
it.
I love it.
It's great.
So, Cook, you said you wanted to talk about the
Yeah, I
Spider-Man
want to
game?
say real quick.
Just real quick?
On anybody with an iPhone, go on the App Store and check out the Spider-Man Unlimited. It's like a limitless runner, whatever. It's just a game. It's really fun. It ties in with the Spider-Verse stuff that's going on in the comics right now. And you basically pull all these different Spider-Men from alternate dimensions, and you just run across the city and collect vials and beat the Sinister Six. And there's all these alternate universe Sinister Six people that keep showing up, and it's really fun. It's just a runner, but it's cool. They have some really great web swinging stuff. It's
and
very
Spider-Verse,
simple,
the comic
but fun.
Spider-Verse
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
great.
It's really cool.
All the stuff coming out of it is a lot of
So
fun.
check that out. Check out that Spider-Man game. It's free on the
Yeah.
App Store, and it's fun and it looks great. I like it.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it's not 100% confirmed, but it is like right now Kristen Ritter is Marvel's choice for Jessica Jones, and they're also saying the followings: Mike Coulter is believed to be the choice for the male lead of Luke Cage.
Oh.
So it looks like we're going to be hearing something about that very soon. We'll talk more about that next week when we come back. We'll give our analysis of Jessica Jones and Alias Detective Agency and Luke Cage and all that stuff. We'll get into that next week.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our show. Thanks for joining us today. We are the Marvel Movie News team on the Popcorn Talk Network. Please find us on YouTube.com, Popcorn Talk Network, or find us on iTunes. You can also follow us at Marvel Schmoes. Find us on Facebook. Like us. You can follow me at the Matt Key.
You can find me at M. Placo.
At Matt Cook tweeted.
And please keep your suggestions coming. Make any corrections to us that we made, like comment on our YouTube. Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Talk to us.
Yeah.
We're
Talk to
happy to
us.
hear from you guys.
And we'll be back next week with more Marvel movie news. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.